Um, well, I'm riding along on day 5 of the lockdown from coronavirus. It's quite surreal, quite weird. It's all happened really quickly. Perhaps one day we'll look back on this and there's a fond memory. But I think it's certainly historic. It's never happened in my lifetime anyway. Nothing like it has happened before. So everyone is in lockdown. We can't leave our houses, but you're allowed to do shopping and you're allowed to do a daily exercise. So this is it. I'm normally doing between 1 and 2 hours on my bike each day. I tend not to go too far, so not too far away from home if you have any problems. But today we're along the Grantham Canal. Beautiful place to go riding. If you don't want to do hills, it's a nice peaceful flat route. Especially at the moment, obviously there's only a few dog walkers, a couple of people on bikes. There's not too many people along here. It's early at the moment, it's still only 9:30, but I'm sure, well, I came here yesterday afternoon and it was quite busy, so I'm sure it'll get busier later. Well, not busy, but more people about. So at the moment water is really still. You can see here, this is a nice little spot. Just past a couple of swans. I rode through town and hopefully when I go back I'll catch some footage of that, but there's people standing 2 metres apart waiting to go into supermarkets, waiting to go into shops, pharmacy, and it seems to be like 1 or 2 at a time going in. That's it. And yeah, it's quite strange, quite weird. We did all our shopping, so haven't needed to go for over a week really. So I know we've got, other than, we might just have a few essentials, but there's not much we'll need, so I'll probably do a shop next week, see how that goes. So now we're just near a place, Woolsthorpe Lock, just around the corner there. You can't quite see it. It's quite a famous pub, the Dirty Duck. It's quite a nice place to go along the canal. You get a lot of people come out this way in the summer, and we're going to take that little track just up there. It's actually an old disused iron ore railway, so I'm going to see if I can negotiate that without actually falling off. Good so far. Yay, we did it. So this it gradually drops, just say like 1%, but it just gradually drops as you ride along it. So it is quite a nice route, and on a gravel bike like we're on today, you can actually get a fair lick on along here if you wanted to. This is generally pretty quiet. It's quieter than the canal towpath is generally, but it's a lovely place to ride your bike and to walk dogs. It's the Dirty Duck down there. Closed obviously at the moment, all the pubs are closed, and this is the track we're going to be riding on. I think it goes about, it's probably about 2 miles, 2.5 miles. I don't know how long it is since the railway was here, but it must be a good few years I would think, but it's quite a nice little route, and it's great use of this kind of disused railway lines that are all around the country. So yeah. A few trees down from recent storms. I noticed that the other day when I was riding along here. So as I said earlier, we're on day 5 of this lockdown, and I think one of the things I've noticed is that I think every day there seems to be more people that are really taking every precaution. They're being really good with the 2 metre rule. I just had a coffee, takeaway coffee from Ginger and Blue's van, and everybody that came stood at least 2 metres away from each other. So I think people are aware, and I think every day there's less cars on the road. So, you know, the first few days people were still going out and definitely not breaking the stay-at-home rules. But yeah, definitely each day there's less and less people going out. So that's pretty good, and hopefully we can offset things. So as I was riding along, I just checked my news app when I stopped, see if there's any latest news, and there is. and it seems Boris Johnson has got coronavirus. So yeah, it just shows he's going to be self-isolating in Downing Street, and he's still going to be in charge of everything, but just self-isolated. So I guess it's going to make his job a bit harder. Certainly he's not going to be at press conferences for a while, but he's only got mild symptoms apparently, so that's good. But yeah, we're just entering Sgreveten now, which some of you will recognise as the home of Cafe Bello Verde, just around the corner. Obviously closed now because of the government legislation, but hopefully they'll be able to open in a few weeks when we get back to some sort of normality. So I'm sitting outside a closed Cafe Bello Verde. It's a beautiful day. It's sitting here in this sun. It's quite sheltered where I am, and it's absolutely gorgeous, really warm. It was a bit frosty this morning, first thing, but frost had gone by the time I left home on my ride, but it's pretty warm now sitting in the sun, and I think actually it's soon be sunblock time, soon be shorts time. Yeah, it's a little bit borderline at the moment. If I went out now, you could get away with shorts, but you wouldn't have done first thing when I left home. So yeah, looks like we're on lockdown. We're going to be home for quite a while. I've been trying to keep a project or some sort of job every day, and yeah, I've managed to keep busy, and I think that's part of the secret to getting through all this is keeping busy. So I've got a bit of a list of projects. I've restored my dad's old sack truck. It's probably about 40 years old, had no paint on it, so that's been restored. I've replaced a meter cupboard door that was about the same age and very, very rotten. When I get back, I'm going to start baking some sourdough bread. I'm going to make the starter. Been watching a YouTube channel, Bun and Beard. That's quite a good channel, and he's just George on the channel has just started doing a bit of a tutorial set of videos about making sourdough. So I'm going to be watching those and making some along with that. And this afternoon's job when I get back is to actually sort out some of my tool storage in my workshop. So yeah, I think all around the country there's a lot of people doing jobs, making the most of it. It's a little bit like a weird summer camp, I think, at the moment for a lot of people. So my plan is to do quite a few projects around my workshop. I've got a few things, a bit of a list of things to make, and I'm trying as much as possible to reuse, recycle, remake things. Trying not to spend any money if I can possibly help it. And that could be quite challenging as time goes on, but I think I've got a lot of things in my workshop that I want to carry on restoring or making good use out of them, materials, etc. So as much as possible I'm going to do that. Restoring my dad's trolley didn't actually cost me anything at all. I did think I might have to buy some grips for the handles, but I decided to use some inner tubes. So I used some old inner tubes for those, and that's worked out quite well. So yeah, I'm going to sit here, have a chill for 5 minutes, and then set off and ride home. I picked up my mail. The Office of National Statistics are still writing to me, so it's good to know that the government are keeping on top of statistics while we're in lockdown. I'm pretty sure that will be, if I don't reply in 10 days, well, they'll fine me, but yeah, good to see. Okay, stay safe everyone, bye.